One of these two is freeze-dried and one is dehydrated.
That was awesome.
We dehydrate and freeze-dry food for our outdoor adventures.
Applesauce.
But even if you don't set foot on a trail, methods for preserving food are used by gardeners,
Salsa.
by doomsday preppers, by anybody who wants to make their own food for travel.
Barbecue sauce.
You can also make garnishes for your cocktails or mocktails. Use it when fruits and veggies go on sale at the grocery store.
Applesauce again and tomato sauce.
Or even to save food from your refrigerator before it goes bad. Oh my god, I made a mess.
So even though freeze dryers and dehydrators are similar, they're actually really different machines with their own unique capabilities, costs, and benefits.
Right now we're actually prepping for a big trip coming up here in a few weeks, and these machines are getting a lot of use. So we're gonna go through the benefits of each one, plus we'll give you our overall preference.
Also, we're gonna show you how you can dehydrate your own food at home with an appliance you almost surely have in your kitchen right now.
Let's go. Dehydrators and freeze dryers both preserve food and they both reduce the weight of food. Dehydrators, though, also reduce the volume of food. We actually did an experiment on this a while back. I had to write these down in my hand as a little cheat sheet, but dehydrators reduce the volume of pineapples by 67% when compared to a freeze-dried pineapples. And for cauliflower, it reduced the volume by 83% when compared to a freeze-dried cauliflower. All right, so I found some cauliflower from our test that we did a while ago. This is a freeze-dried cauliflower. And this is a dehydrated cauliflower. Look at that difference in volume. Weight is similar, freeze dryer is slightly lighter, but the volume difference is significant. There's probably a ton more cauliflower in this dehydrated jar. Volume is important for us too, especially on backpacking trips that are longer than a weekend trip.
So as Renee mentioned, both freeze dryers and dehydrators preserve food, but freeze-dried food lasts significantly longer. Once we send food through this machine, it'll last up to 25 years if it's stored properly. The reason for that is because a freeze dryer removes almost all the water out of the food, and without water, bacteria, mold, and other microorganisms that cause spoilage just don't have a chance to thrive. Dehydrated food, on the other hand, it lasts 1 to 2 years, which is plenty for a trip, but it doesn't give you that long-term storage that you get from a freeze dryer.
Another benefit of a dehydrator is it's just really easy to use. You cut food into uniform pieces, spread it thinly on the sheets, and set your temperature and turn it on. It's done when vegetables are crispy, fruits are leathery, not sticky. It's just pretty simple.
So these are really crispy, and that is how we know they are done. This still has to run because it's sugary. Sugary stuff takes longer.
Oh, it's almost there. We just have to run it forever to get it done in the dehydrator. Oh yeah, and this part got too sticky to peel.
You can turn it off and on halfway through if you need to. We have to do this sometimes when we're filming because it's a bit noisy. Yes, it's just really simple. Another thing is that when it's done, it doesn't need to be packaged immediately. Sometimes we're out running errands or on a run and it finishes, and it's okay if you have to wait a couple hours to package it. So it's just super easy. Freeze dryer, on the other hand, can be a bit finicky. You have to put the food in the machine and turn it on, and that's it. You can't turn it off. You don't exactly know when it's gonna be done. Last night it finished at 1:30 in the morning, and we had to tell it to do more freeze drying time because we weren't gonna package it at 1:30 in the morning. And that's the thing with freeze dryers, is you need to package it immediately after you open the door. Otherwise it'll start absorbing moisture from the air. So a bit more finicky, but yeah. Dehydrators are just super easy. So last month we told you we signed up for Function Health, and Tim just got his results back. So Tim, what'd you find out?
Well, the process was actually really easy. I scheduled an appointment, got my blood drawn the next day, and the results started pouring in right after that. One of my favorite things was seeing my biological age, which functions testing suggested is about 10 years younger than my actual age. So that was very cool and very encouraging to see. We hike and we run and we do all this stuff outside, so I felt like something about my biology shows it. But there were some surprises too. It turns out my iron levels are a little lower than they should be, and Function didn't just show me that result, it also showed me suggestions of how I could make it better. For instance, it gave me a whole set of iron-rich foods to eat, including spinach, and it pointed out that iron should be eaten alongside vitamin C for maximum absorption and to bring those levels back up. And we'll find out if my levels are improving or getting worse if all the spinach I'm eating is helping, and so on. So that is really exciting. One of my favorite things is that Function's not just guessing, it's based on a wide range of tests, and then it shows the results and what they actually mean. And everything is tracked in one place right on my phone, so I can watch my health change over time and see if the changes I'm making are working. I'm especially interested in seeing what happens at my 6-month follow-up test when I will get a new set of results and find out, do I have more iron or less? And on some of those other biomarkers, are they moving in the right direction? So if you're interested in learning more, Function offers testing through about 2,000 locations in the US, and membership is only $365 a year or about $1 per day. You can also get a $25 credit by using our code, which is in the link in the description. Another benefit of a freeze dryer is that it retains 97% of a food's nutrients. In contrast, dehydrators retain 60 to 75% depending on the temperature you use to dehydrate. What's going on is that a dehydrator uses airflow and heat to dry out the food, and that heat is what breaks down the nutrients. In contrast, the freeze drying process is totally different. You freeze food before you put it in the machine, or the machine will freeze it on its own when you put it in, and then it creates a vacuum using a big heavy vacuum pump, and that vacuum sucks the moisture out of the food as a gas in a process called sublimation. It's been doing the suction part for 7 hours and 20 minutes, and it's got a ways to go. And before that, it spent the whole night freezing the food. So this thing takes a while. It's always like a full day, sometimes more, sometimes a little less. And it's just got a tight suction inside. We got a pump down here, and look at this. Here's the pump, which is creating the suction, pulling the air out, and it just takes a while, but check out the food. It hasn't shrunk. It looks almost the same. That's how it'll look once it's done, and we don't know how long it'll be until it's done. It'll be a little while. We just wait. I'm in my running clothes. We're probably gonna go for a run while these just continue running, and we'll get some food then. So freeze dryers retain an insane amount of nutrients, but we should mention it's not like dehydrators aren't healthy. 60 to 75% of nutrients is plenty compared to a process like canning, which retains even less nutrients than a dehydrator. And also anything you do at home to cook your food, like boiling, baking, frying, that all removes nutrients from food as well.
Back to the dehydrator. Another benefit is that it has a huge capacity compared to its size. In contrast, our freeze dryer was delivered on a pallet. This came in, a box not much bigger than this. But anyways, we're estimating, that you can do about 20 meals at least in this dehydrator, whereas our freeze dryer could probably do about 6 meals. But the freeze dryer is a lot bigger than this dehydrator. Let me just bring it over and show you the difference in size. Yeah, I can pick this one up. I can't pick up the freeze dryer. All right, so we just set it on top. 20 meals in this thing versus, look at this huge thing, 6 meals in here, plus the pump. Big size difference, but something to consider if you have a small space.
The thing we like the most about the freeze dryer is that it can handle an insane array of foods. We can do sugary foods, we can do fatty foods, we can do frozen foods, and we can just be really creative with our meals. So some examples of this. We've done ice cream sandwiches to make banana splits. We've done guacamole, and oh my gosh, guacamole on the trail is something special. What else have we made? Candy, yeah. We've done Skittles. I've seen videos of people doing Jolly Ranchers. I can't wait to try that. It really changes the texture of candies themselves. Something else we did was pasta salad, and oh my gosh, it was insane. It came back like a fresh pasta salad. It wouldn't have been the same in a dehydrator. The freeze dryer gave it this special fresh texture that completely blew my mind. So both are great methods for preserving, but a freeze dryer has a lot fewer limitations in terms of what it can handle than a dehydrator. And it's got a reason for that. Because it freezes the food, it doesn't compress it all. So when you have a little bit of fat in your food, in normal makeup of food, there's space between all these little fat molecules. When you dehydrate, it shrinks and the fat becomes really close to itself and creates this fat moisture that can make a food go rancid. With a freeze dryer, the fat molecules stay floating across all of your food instead of being compressed into one blob that can go rancid like they would in a dehydrator. So we get all this crazy assortment of things we can do on foods with a freeze dryer that makes going on the trail really fun. There's something about being at 12,000 feet and having guacamole in your rice and bean burrito that feels really special.
Another benefit of the Dehydrator is that they are cheaper than freeze dryers. So this one right here, it's a very large machine. It is about $300. The one we started with back in the day was $70 or $80 last time we checked, which was not too long ago. We'll put links to everything down below.
So this freeze dryer is about $2,000, sometimes on sale for as low as $1,500 or $1,700, but it is a pretty big commitment.
Yeah, dehydrators are a lot cheaper, but they can't do everything that a freeze dryer can do. If you're curious about dehydrating and freeze drying and food preservation, Dehydrator is a great thing to start with. All right, let's say you are interested in freeze drying and dehydrating, but don't have a machine at home. You can actually dehydrate in your oven. So let me just give you a really quick tutorial on how to do that in case you're curious in buying a dehydrator. As you can see, an oven has so much wasted space in here. It's not practical for dehydrating hundreds of meals for our trips, but it's a good, in a pinch, you can use it. So let's talk about temperature. We dehydrate our fruits and vegetables at about 135 degrees Fahrenheit in our dehydrator. Some ovens can't go that low, so just put your oven as low as it can possibly go. If you have a convection setting, that is even better because the convection is the fan. So a dehydrator has heat and a fan. So convection is best. And then important step is to crack your oven open with something like a wooden spoon so that the moisture can escape. So pretty simple. Just put your food, cut it up into pans or put it on parchment paper on the trays and try out dehydrating. 100. Can it go that low? No, it can only go to 170. A little too high, not ideal, but it'll work.
So the food you saw us prepping in this video will come with us in a few weeks when we tackle the High Sierra route. That'll be a couple hundred miles of hiking with no more than one resupply stop, so volume matters.
All done.
We'll probably bring mostly dehydrated food, but we'll definitely throw in a few freeze-dried treats like guacamole to enjoy while we're out there too.
All right, the moment you've been waiting for. What is our overall preference? A dehydrator. We've been dehydrating food for backpacking adventures for more than 15 years. If we could only have one machine, it would be a dehydrator.
Fortunately, we don't have to make that choice. We have both machines because the versatility we get from a freeze dryer adds so much fun to our food on the trail.
Freeze-dried M&Ms?
We're lucky that we have both machines, but we do really enjoy both. It's kind of like a mountain bike versus a road bike. They're similar machines, they're not duplicative. It's great to have both.